everybody, happy Wax on Wednesdays. It was a really dark and stormy spring day all day today, so I apologize for the lighting. I actually had to bring in some artificial lighting. It just never stopped being really sort of dark and stormy, but we're going to do some more of that encaustic printing on the anodized aluminum surface like we started in the series last week. So if you want to check out number 1 in this printmaking series on an anodized aluminum surface, then check out last week's video here on YouTube. And today we're continuing that with some natural botanical printing and still using the anodized aluminum surface. And now there's a lot of different options to use for an anodized aluminum surface when it comes to encaustic printmaking. These options can be really sort of inexpensive or get pretty pricey, and I'm listing all of the options there on the blog post for this video on the website at sherryriplocal.com. I'll list all the supplies that I use and also all of the different options that you would have for this anodized aluminum surface. And here I'm using some botanicals. I reuse these leaves over and over, really until they get sort of too wilty to arrange. I like recycling, I like reusing, and that way I don't have to clip my entire bush out in my garden. I can just reuse these leaves several times. Every single time I work with a printmaking practice, it's always a toss-up whether do I like the initial print the best or do I like the ghost print the best. And in this case of this printmaking, I love the ghost prints. I love how they turn out, and they almost remind me sort of a vintagey wallpaper with these great big leaves and the detail in the veining of the leaves. I love how the ghost prints turn out. I like the initial prints too, but the ghost prints really, I was really more interested in the detail that I was getting with those. I'm also so excited that it's spring and everything is coming up in the garden, so I have so many more options for botanical printing than I do in late fall and winter where I'm located. It gets pretty sparse for those times where you want to do cyanotypes or botanical printing, and I'm really excited that everything is popping out here now. The leaves that I'm using for this today are some peony leaves, some hibiscus, and also some of my dahlias that are actually starting to come up, and I had to pinch them off anyways to have them sort of branch out. So that was my job before it started storming, was to pinch off those dahlias, and I'm going to use those pinched off leaves for this botanical printing, so it all works out. And also I'm using my catalyst wedge here, but a printing baron probably would have worked a lot better for this because of the bulkiness of the leaves, trying to get contact with that painted surface with the paper. So a printing baron would have worked better. I couldn't find mine, and so I use a catalyst wedge. It still works. A flat surface, printing baron is a flat surface, and so it will get contact better with these bulkier things that you're trying to print with. So I'll also leave a link on the blog for a printing baron. If you've never used one before, you might want to try that out. It's a really fun tool. So other things that have been going on here in the studio, we are now in week 2 of the workshop, CYANOTYPES, the Magic of Alternative Photography workshop, and there's a wait list for that session is closed, the spring session, but there is a wait list that you can get onto for the fall edition of CYANOTYPES, the Magic of Alternative Photography workshop. There's a fall waitlist going, so if you would like to get on that wait list, and I will notify you as soon as the listing goes live, you can email me or contact me through sherryriplocal.com. And another exciting thing is that we are currently filming the sequel to the first cyanotype workshop. So the next workshop will be Cyanotypes, advanced compositions, and storytelling. It's going to be super fun. I'm really excited about this workshop, and the listing is not up yet, but we are, because we are in the spring session for the first workshop, but I will have that listing up probably up here in the next week. So I'll announce it here on Wax on Wednesdays as soon as that listing is live, so that you can check that one out too for the new workshop. And it's going to start at the end of September, but I'm going to launch the listing so you can get in on the early bird registration price and get a sale, a little discount there on the workshop. Now, for all of these prints I'm using just copy paper, just plain copy paper. I find that a good quality copy paper really receives the encaustic, the detail, it picks up the detail, it absorbs the wax beautifully. And when I'm working on a new sort of technique or sort of working out my compositions, I find that that copy paper really comes in handy before I start using my artist grade papers. Now, I still can use this copy paper. I can put it in encaustic journals. I can put it, use it for collage. There's all sorts of things that I can do with these prints if I'm really, really enjoying them, which I am. But if I'm going to do a print that I'm going to frame later on, then I'm going to probably graduate to a nice rice paper, one of my favorite rice papers for these prints. And if you've been having a lot of fun with me on the YouTube channel on Wax on Wednesdays for a while now, you might want to check out the Patreon channel. I've had it now for about a year. I started it in April of 2020, and the reasoning behind that was to be able to bring like small sort of mini workshop content every single week without having to purchase a full entire workshop. So every single Wednesday it has a lot more content and step-by-step process commentary that I give for every single video of exactly what I'm doing or my thought process behind it. A lot of tips and tricks along the way, and a lot more video footage content. So there's also a podcast on there. There's a photo encaustic mini workshop as well. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link to check it out below this video. You can join us anytime, and I would absolutely love to have you. So I hope that you really have fun with this week's printing, encaustic printmaking on the anodized aluminum surface. Be sure to check out the blog if you want to see all the different options for finding those anodized aluminum surfaces to print on. I hope you have a great week, and we will see you next Wednesday. Happy Wax on Wednesdays.